Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. My name's Ian McLean. I'm the driver of 00 Speed Cafe HQ race car. We're here to watch a lap of me at the Sandown Raceway in the HQXtra Eseries presented by Command Digital Signage. This particular round's actually presented by Hands On First Aid, and I'm heading down the main straight at the moment in a qualifying hot lap. So we go down the main straight here, we get to about the 70 odd metre mark, brake heavily, turn it in on the left hand side over the ripple strip, rounding up the corner on the exit on the concrete verge here, back to second gear, back over the right hand ripple strip, over the left hand side there, and again on the verge, exit here over onto the concrete, so we get a nice run up to the main straight here. So the big straight here, we end up sort of getting about 170 kilometres an hour. It's pretty good for slipstreaming, particularly in qualifying. It'll give you an advantage of about 0.3 of a second if it's done well. But we've got to be mindful of that when we are racing, that the opportunities are there as well. So crest the top of the hill here, dance it over the left-hand side there, settle it before we start braking really heavily into Dandenong corner here. Hard on the brakes, left-hand ripple strips, nice and hard. On the exit there over to the concrete verge helps us turn out of that corner and get our power down nice and early. Under the bridge, getting ready for our final part of the complex here. Brake heavily on the left-hand side of the circuit, over the right-hand ripple strip, back out onto the straight on the concrete verge near the pit exit, and that's our lap of Sandown Raceway. Thanks for joining me. Looking forward to the rest of the race meeting, and our commentator, Dave Armour. How's it going, Dave?
Very good, thank you, and I really appreciate this. This E-Class of is going to be very, very interesting and fantastic for all of us. So at least we're doing something about motor racing. Round one, race one, coming up very soon.
A quick flick through the results on what we ended up with in qualifying. We were lucky enough to see quite a broad spread there. We had Michael Howlett with pole. He was followed by Brendan Healy, Joel Heinrich, Leighton Cranbrook, Jason Mole, Kenny Wright, Chris Mole, and Dave Camilleri. Ricardo, our photographer from New South Wales, ended up coming in 9th place, and Johnny Baxter brought out the top 10. But we were looking at the times before, and you were indicating it's actually pretty close to legitimate times there.
Yes, it certainly is. When I saw the times and everything else like that, I've gone, oh, okay, this is very, very close. People from all over Australia on HQXtra for the Sandown round one.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, look, let's get this underway. We'll start the race and see what they've been able to bring to us.
Just waiting for the green, I suppose, or red to go out. Healy there, Howard, as we said. And down the front straight. Started racing.
Yeah, pretty tight into the first corner too. There's a bit going on that we find out later on there.
Certainly is. Howard down the inside. That's Harvey around the outside there. It's Queensland car. That's also Thomas there in 76 car, the rainbow car, you can say, and Smith just in front of him.
We've got a few of the New South Wales guys there. We've actually got Brett Osborne as well as John Baxter. Up the front there, we've got Leighton Cranbrook, followed by a retro signage liveried car by Kenny Wright there, and he's been putting in a lot of laps and doing a lot of testing in the off time, so it seems to be showing there.
Yeah, going up the back chute there in third position, that's Leighton Cranbrook. That's what the car is going to look like when we can go out, full-time racing again. That's in there with the full car, and right behind him, I'm just waiting to see. That's Kenny Wright. Oh, that's Heinrich. Heinrich's gone around.
There's
a big lose up over the top, coming down in the dandy corner.
Bit of a spin, and Leighton's involved in a bit of that at the end of the braking area there too.
Yep, and they're coming down and around the corner. This is looking from the 71 car, I would say, by the look of it. There, what you could call the Viking car, the Tasmanian guy there of Caudwell. Just got to wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
got a car there on its roof.
And a big accident.
Work out. Yes.
The car on its roof was JD, who's a Speedway competitor that's been able to join us. Otis in the middle of the tyre wall originally.
Yep, for sure. So going back down the front straight again, we've got, as you see, Cranbrook, Kenny Wright there, and the old Bob Wright colours. Kenny Wright's trying to go down the inside into turn 1. Leighton Cranbrook's left it a little bit wide.
Yeah, he might have overcooked
should still
that.
hold the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's pretty tight going to there, and to be honest, it's great to see the room that each other's sort of giving there. They're not trying to win it on the first lap or the second lap. They know they're in for a few laps yet.
Well, that is for sure. Command Digital cars, mate, they've done a fantastic job. They all look absolutely spot on, as we can see there. That's starting to come up the back chute now, up over the top where you hold it flat out almost the whole way. Now that's John Baxter there in the 51 car. Two identical cars, and Fred Osborne's in the other one, of course.
Absolutely.
Got the blue wheels.
It's just a slight difference between the two cars, but it looks absolutely amazing. You're right. Command Digital and Jason Miles been able to replicate or even create new liveries just for this series. So an amazing job, and the cars absolutely look brilliant.
Yeah, they certainly do. You can certainly say it's a HQ without an issue or problem there. You definitely can almost hear the tyre squeal in the background.
And that's the thing within the series as well. We end up with tyre degradation very much like the current cars do. So you'll find that some guys will end up actually dropping pace as the race goes on because they might have been a bit hard on the rear tyres or pushing it a bit early on cold tyres there too.
Oh, well, fair enough, mate. So it wasn't from the night before at the pub.
No, look, I think they've had a clean evening here.
Yep, which is good. All right, as you can see, going through turns 2, 3 and 4, that's over the far right-hand corner of the commentary box. So all coming out of it okay there at the moment. Thomas has had a fantastic run. He's doing really good in that rainbow car. Car's really come off, we've had a bit of a spin there, you can see the car's been damaged. That's probably, I'm just trying to work that out, if that's Hollywood or whether that's Healy.
We've got Hollywood in there, so he's in the green one as per usual, so he's definitely been involved.
Yep. So I just saw the back of Pedro's car there, the orange car.
Yeah, it looks like he might have got a tap from behind there, unfortunately. I don't think Otis was meaning that, but it's obviously a bit tight exiting onto the main straight there.
Yeah, that's Camilleri now, right on the back of Howlett there.
That's
so
right.
He certainly comes through a little bit.
Yeah, Dave's a bit of a gainer himself, so he's been definitely putting in a lot of time, both before this series was announced and during the series too. So Dave's doing a great job for a non-HQ racer at the moment anyway.
Yeah, well that's exactly right. I heard that he's been going to the gym a fair bit, working himself out, making sure that he's fit to drive tonight, so it's absolutely great.
Oh, to muscle these steering wheels around, they're slightly assisted, but yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing. And the heartbeat goes, I can definitely assure you that the racing goes on very much like in real life.
Yep, for sure. The Command Digital car, he's got in front of Dave there, and there's also Kenny Wright. So John Baxter just at the front there as they all come around the corner as they go through turn 1 to turn 2. So they're all fairly clean at the moment. Gee, really taking the inside of the corner there.
There's a bit of
going up the
there.
back chute, bit of a kick.
And it's getting
There's
tighter.
a Kenny Wright car there, the old Bob White colours. A head stud development. Eddie Woods is on the rear quarters of that car. So it's like a tattoo, you could say, on the Bob Wright, Kenny Wright car. We've had a car come off. Is that Leighton Cranbrook up over the top? Just have a bit of a look here, Leighton Cranbrook.
No, Leighton's still in there. I think that was actually Pedro.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Pedro Marusik's left it on the side there, yeah.
Yep. All right. That's Howlett in the 7 car there. Beautiful looking car. Command Digital's done a fantastic job, mate. Johnny Baxter again.
Bit of action going up the main straight, up the back straight there.
Yep, for sure. This is the S's coming into Dandy Corner. The other side of that wall there is actually the Princess Highway. So very, very close. Good looking shot there, coming through quite okay. Yep, Leighton Cranbrook. Oh, that one's out a little bit wide there. The HQXtra car, that's the blue car.
Yeah, that
still seems to be able to hang on.
That's Brendan Healy. So he's having a first event in one of the HQXtra cars. You're right. So that's the blue one there, which is different to the other ones. We've got Leighton in there too, and Kenny Wright. They're all pushing pretty hard up the front.
Definitely pushing. You can definitely see that down in turn one. Heavily braking here. This will be interesting. Leighton's certainly gone to the inside, but makes it okay. So just try and have a look. That's Smith also in the. Oh no, that's the Headley car.
Yeah, no, Healy's
As we
still
come
up
into
there.
Dandy Corner.
Yep, doing well.
Sorry.
Doing very well.
Yep. Kenny Wright, David Camilleri. Chook Man, if anyone's not sure of the name, you'll understand that, Camilleri.
That's exactly right. So heading up the back straight there.
Yep, underneath the bridge there, Falcon Bridge. We use the Kenny tyres, of course. But have a look at this. Wright's just about ready to give a bit of a love tap up over the top. That'll certainly get the old speed over heart racing.
And look, the competitors were actually mentioning during qualifying that they did actually get quite a good advantage from the slipstream. So you can see Kenny's actually trying to keep up the boot there before, but you've got to be mindful of the fact that giving yourself some room before the braking area so you don't end up having any incidents.
Yeah, right, okay. David Camilleri. 48 car, that's Darren Jenkins. Has he got a flat left front tyre?
He does have a front left go down. I think he had an incident a couple of laps ago, so it's obviously just brought him unstuck there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he won't be liking that, I can tell you.
And
very fierce competitor from South Australia.
Absolutely. One of our state champions, only one of plenty, to be honest. But good to see him. It's his first drive. He hasn't done any other of the rounds or the practice rounds, so he's obviously just finding his feet as much as a lot of the other guys are too. And with Leighton up the front, he's actually done a really great job. To be honest, he was very, very late joining the series and being able to get any of his gear sorted out, and probably about 2 weeks before, maybe even a week and a half before the first race, he was actually beginning to hop on a simulator for the first time. So he's doing a great job, shows the champion that he is, as again most of the field end up being remarkable drivers in their own right, but to be in a sim situation, completely different ball game.
Yeah, well it certainly is, but knowing Leighton Cranbrook, I'm sure he would have had a few late nights to make sure he's got to do his best. But as you can see there,
very tight.
For sure, he's doing extremely well. That's down the Dandy Corner again there. You can see the Joel Heinrich's done all right. He's got himself back up there. That's the number one on the side of his car, because he is at the moment the current HQ champion of Australia.
And look,
so he won at Tail and Bend there.
Absolutely. And again, great credit to him and all the other guys that are involved. He's not too proud or too time precious to not get involved in something, and he's put his heart back into HQ racing, which is great to see. So you're right, number one, he legitimately has it in real life as he does in the sim.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether Joel's dad, he might be a little bit too old to try this, but it'll be good to see Joel's dad out there having a bit of a fang around as well, and see what his movements are like in a sim at his age.
Well, we've got the Godfather in there, so we've actually ended up with a couple of new people that are later in their years, to be fair. Another one's Darren Parker, our state New South Wales president, or vice president, sorry. So him and his son Ash are both involved. So you're right, there's first timers out there that don't necessarily end up being used to this type of racing.
Yeah, I think Darren might get an absolute flogging from his young son Aston, because I reckon Aston will be really, really good at this. Young, fast, and looks smooth, mate.
Look, he's very competitive, and again, Ash is actually a kart racer, so Darren's got his hands full in the future with keeping him on the track too. Look at this, for some beautiful battles coming up here towards the end of the race here at lap 7. And Joel Heinrich's coming back through there.
Yes, just trying to scrape his way through there, and was able to get past. But this is quite interesting. That's in front of Chookman's car, the 46 car. The
Yeah,
HQ car, was that the Howlett? No, that was the Chookman car.
I think it is actually Dave Camilleri. And up the front there, we've still got Kenny Wright and Leighton doing a fantastic job up the front. Yeah, brilliant effort.
Yep.
Oh, Healy.
Yeah, this is just like it being at Sandown, mate, in real days. You can't see turn 1 and 2, so you have to sort of make it up as you go from the commentary box. So, mate, we're doing extremely well here. Absolutely fantastic. Dave Camilleri is really in the boot lid of Heinrich.
Oh, we've got some...
Just a bit of a replay, bit of a look here.
Yeah, this...
Paint just a little bit. Spun it around.
And again, the amazing images.
As you go through turn 1.
Yeah, door side cameras that you wouldn't get normally. So that was Brendan Healy there that ended up coming off worse for wear there, sadly. And again, the battle up the front still got Leighton and Kenny Wright there. They're doing a magnificent job. Joel Heinrich's coming back through after that first lap incident. He's got Camilleri that he's side to side with, and Howlett's running in third position there. So the top 5 are really starting to bunch up.
Yeah, they certainly are. When you have a bit of a look at them, you can sort of see it there as they come through the corners and everything else like that. That there will be the first car ever that the Heinrichs do not have an oil leak.
Look, whatever it is that they're doing, it makes them go quick. So they're doing the right stuff.
Oh, they certainly are. It's absolutely fantastic. Good to see that CR sponsorship on the bonnet. Absolutely fantastic company and a good bloke.
Yeah, look, Trevor Penny's absolutely amazing, and I've actually been in contact with him all the way through this process. He's been so involved. He lives over in America. He's getting up early to try and watch some of these races. He's got live footage happening. He's hooked up in a virtual sense and potentially getting more opportunity to see some racing live than he would have done in a normal race meeting. So he's thriving on it, and like you said, top guy, great supporter of motorsport, and personally just loves being involved.
He certainly is. We're on lap 9 now, so that means we've only got a little bit left of round 1, race 1 here at Sandown, Victoria. And for Sandown, yep, we've got the cloud coverage. Always interesting for a drop of rain at some stage, and hopefully we might have that in the future if we can get Command Digital on board to give us a bit of the Sandown weather off Phillip Island.
To keep the sunshine up.
Oh yeah, that is for sure. Absolutely fantastic this is. This is real good. Mate, you can definitely see the HQs. This is just, yeah, very, very nice. Oh, we've got one going off in the back there.
Yeah, we've got Camilleri.
Trying to work out who that is.
And halfway through his spin, he's ended up with Madden and Baxter, and Joel Heinrich might have been involved in that too.
Yeah, okay. Definitely Baxter, you can see that there. Underneath the Jim Beam Bridge, starting their final lap, if the numbers tell me correctly.
No, lap 9
very,
it looks
very
like.
shortly.
So we've got just over 3Ks to go, and it's all tightening up at the front. You've got the 3 of them. We've got Ken Wright. We've got Howlett sort of stalking there behind him, and Leighton Cranbrook on the outside going into the final lap, turn 1.
Oh, have a look at Howlett trying to go down the inside. It'll have to be a late breaker to get in front of Kenny Wright. You can physically see we're 3 wide into turn 1 for the final time. Oh, where on earth has the pull car gone? Where's Cranbrook? Oh no, he's made that. Geez, that was a wide exit coming out of turn 1, as you can see.
I think
Howlett up to second, Wright third.
Didn't leave anything to on the table there. Leighton Cream's gone deep into 1, which has pushed him wide into 2 and 3 complex, and then up to the back straight. Again, they're remarkably tight going up for the last lap, down to Dandenong corner.
Yeah, they certainly are. Up over the top there. Doing around about the 176 in a normal HQ. These will be very close due to their speeds are almost identical to what we do.
And again, that's
Howlett got a magnificent up over the top.
He's had a brilliant race. He's caught the two leaders that have obviously been battling pretty hard.
Yep. A better tyre wear, I suppose you're going to tell me.
Well, look, I think they're just very tight in the battles that they've been involved in, so they might have slowed each other up in the end there.
Yep, here we go. Coming to get the checkered flag.
And that's it, over the line.
Yep, very, very tight and close. First, second and third. All right, so so Howlett started on pole and won the race, but it certainly wasn't his own race. We had a couple there that were giving him some big grief, in Kenny Wright and Leighton Cranbrook. Good to see Scott Andreski and Brendan Madden, the Harvey cars, both up 7 positions, so they'd be extremely happy with that. Jason Mole went back a couple. Simon Thomas, unbelievable, up 10, so he done extremely well. David Camilleri was doing extremely well. He went back 2 positions and finished just right on 10.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Like you mentioned there was a couple of people. Simon Thomas was one that's come up a huge amount, so credit to him, and being in the right place at the right time may not necessarily be the fairest way to say it, but at the same point, there's obviously people that have ended up getting caught in battles there that might have taken them out of some good positions. Joel Heinrich sort of won. He's done a great race there to be able to come in 4th place, because we know he got caught up early on with a couple of tangles there too, so he could have been a little bit higher than what he did end up. So the rest of the field sort of spread out a little bit more, but again, the lap times are very, very tight when it comes down to it. There's less than a second in the overall results there between a lot of those cars and in lap time. So brilliant effort. That's race 1. Just can't wait to have a look at race 2. So thanks, Dave. We'll have a look at race 2 shortly. Okay, race 2, round 1. Off we go.
Certainly is. You can see there, ladies and gentlemen, the HQs are actually starting in front of the grandstand, where all races at Sandown used to start back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
fantastic to see.
This particular track setup is based off 2012 from memory, so slightly different now, with some of the people that might notice up the back of Dandenong or towards Dandenong, the asphalt's not quite the way to the Armco, which it is now, but nonetheless, they're racing as hard as they ever have done.
Well, they certainly are. You say that about up over Dandy Corner, but turn 1's got all the new concrete in it, which has only been done in the last 6 months.
Well, it's ended up working well, because they're using it, they're banking on it, they're relying on it to make sure that they're getting around that turn.
Oh, well, you pay for it, you might as well use all of it.
So what we looked at in the grid this time round, you would have noticed that we've got Otis Caldwell on the front row with Nicholas Jackson. Now, we actually invert the results from race 1 from the top 15. So Otis was a little bit further back than what he may have been normally. He's a very competitive guy and a good sim racer himself. So he's obviously had an incident in the first race, but that's ended up working for him in the second race, being on the front row, and again was able to be up there with Nicholas Jackson. So it's all happening.
It certainly is. We can see him going there, going through turns, all that. So we can see that that's Johnny Baxter there. That's Thomas we spoke about. Kenny Wright's just in front of him. Then that's both Harvey cars in front of them. So the 2 Harvey cars have also come up a little bit. As you can see, he's on the inside there. Oh, Heinrich is having a real good battle there with Brett Osborne.
Oh, yeah.
They used to be the #1 HQ guy for a couple of years on the Nationals.
Exactly.
So very, very tight.
Look,
is that Howlett? Howlett's gone around.
Howlett's just ended up getting turned around at turn 1. Obviously got caught up in an incident there.
Yep, he certainly had. Leighton Cranbrook is also off the field as well.
Yeah, I saw that he ended
up
trying
to work out which way.
Dandenong Corner, I think he had an incident in the first lap, and we might actually get a replay of some of this coming up too. So it's pretty tight going on up the back half of the top 10.
Yeah, well, that could be Leighton Cranbrook that was looking at the camera.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
So that's one of the HQXtra cars. There's probably the 22 car, I would say there. So there's Howard on the right, Baxter,
Yep.
there's Heinrich on the left. Well, they're definitely touching. Rubbing is racing.
Kenny Wright's ended up having a bit of a spin on his own potentially there. I'm not sure if it was helped or not, but ended up on the infield.
Yep, certainly was. So that'll hurt his times and he'll go back. So but there's plenty of time. All a massive replay, just seeing what everything's happening.
Yeah, massive late break that almost worked. It was very, very close to being successful there. Unfortunately, he's ended up getting involved in a bit of a tag there.
Yep, that is for sure. That's Healy in a 22 car, I think.
Yeah, Brendan Healy and Michael Howard up the front there. So back to the front, they're all battling again. It looks like we've got a few guys going in opposite directions to the rotation or the direction of the track there.
Oh, have a look at Nicholas there in the Tyre Power car. He's certainly going in some different direction. But he should be able to gather it up.
And we've got...
So it's a 41 car there. That's quite an interesting car there, 41. I'm not sure who that is. Johnny Baxter looks like... Oh, Johnny Baxter's been smashed in the left rear quarter.
And it keeps getting worse, it looks like.
Oh, okay. Oh, Command Digital will have to straighten that car up after this race.
Might have some work to do with that one. Thanks to Jason Moore.
That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, again, we're looking through the pack. There's things going on everywhere. I'm looking all the way through the top.
That's Smith.
Smith, beautiful.
Yeah, sorry, mate. That's Smith there, that one grey car. The 11 car there, that's Smith from South Australia. There's Thomas in front of him.
Yep.
And it's also a HQXtra car again.
That's Brendan Healy again. So yeah, he's learning the ropes and doing very, very well.
Yep. Yeah, doing enough to keep up there. Got the LED headlights in it, as you can see.
Look, they've actually got buttons on the wheels that do all sorts of normal things that you have control over in a race car, in the HQs. There's a bit of a gentleman's rule with qualifying, as would be normal. If you put your headlights on, you give him a bit of a warning. It'll actually illuminate your in-car, your point of view when you're getting caught by another driver. So you actually get a fairly legitimate warning, and we get out of each other's way as we would do on the racetrack. We don't want to hold anyone else up.
No, that's for sure. It's lucky they didn't have that in in real racing, mate. I would never have used my headlights.
Look,
coming onto the front straight.
You got Johnny Baxter's pulled it up off the side there. I think he's out for the race, the damage that he sustained.
Yeah, certainly has, mate. The left rear, I would say. It looks like he's had a flat tyre as well. But have a look at that. That's Dave Camilleri. The Chookman car doing extremely well. It's a 57 car there of the Harvey. That's Madden.
Yeah, Madden might have
and
gone...
also Jason Mole there in the 32 car. Certainly taken the ripple strip.
Yeah, look, they were warned in the driver's briefing not to excessively overuse the curbing, and that was something that is actually being policed. We've got a DSO in the field, so we do actually have a driving standards officer that overviews all of the footage and makes sure that people are playing fairly and legitimately like you would do at any other race meeting. We will offer penalties if they end up sort of doing the wrong thing or causing an incident. So all of these had the opportunity to get viewed with a penalty in mind.
Yeah, okay. The Otis Cordwell, the Tasmanian guy, the 71, the black car, that's way out in front. He's got a really good start and has been able to pull away. He's got a really, really good gap on the rest of the field. So he might go from 15th to 1st to win this one at the moment if he continue the way he's racing.
Absolutely. He's done him some good, and to tell you the truth, we've got a fair battle going for second there. We've got one of the Harvey cars.
Once again, they're three wide, mate.
Yeah, and Jason Mole into there, and DC Camilleri sort of coming through in fourth. Behind there, we've got sort of fifth place and sixth place series Joel Heinrich. So yeah, top six is very, very tight.
41 is at HQ behind Camilleri. I'm just trying to work out who 41 is. So is that one of the green cars?
No, look, Clinton Green is actually in the field, but he's actually in a white HQXtra car as well. So he's an ex-New South Wales and national sort of driver a few years ago, and it's good to see him back in the seat and having a bit of a drive too. So wonderful to see.
All right, that's excellent. That's really, really good. We've got some names that have come back into this series, which is actually fantastic. And we've also got, I think you said earlier, one of the photographers actually got a race car as well and having a go.
Yeah, look, we were lucky enough to get Ricardo, our New South Wales-based photographer from Priceless Images. Ben Venuti is very competitive and loves his racing, and is wonderful for our sport and motorsport in general. So it's great to have Ricardo in the field and enjoying it. So absolutely. Yep,
good to see you there. Jason Moles just in front of Dave Camilleri, and then you've also got Brendan Madden there, the motocross guy from Queensland. He loves his HQs, and Joe Andreski is heavily involved in that massive big team they've got up there, and it'd be good to catch up with those guys when they come down again. And
Nathan Locke, like you said before, he's sort of pushing hard in fifth place there in front of Joel and behind Camilleri. So Locke's car looks similar to Clinton Green's car, like we were mentioning. It's a little bit different nonetheless. And again, up the back straight, we've got Camilleri and Brendan Madden, I think it is, in some tight battles with some amazing footage.
Yeah, it certainly is there. Coming up over the top down in Dandy Corner, there's a snake there, and you've got to be very, very careful. Hit too much grass, mate, and you end up in the sand pit. So it's a very, very deep sand pit, and you certainly don't want to be there. The 41 car there, Lockie's doing extremely well. So he's up in there. He's got Heinrich behind him, as you can see there, in the black number 1 car. Brendan Martin's trying to get up the inside there of Camilleri, but having no luck as it goes down the front chute, as you can see. This will be very, very interesting.
But again, I've got to say that the racing between, in this particular case, you've got Madden and Camilleri, and it doesn't always necessarily mean the late breaker wins out of that. Camilleri took a greater line out of turn 1 and ended up benefiting it. So, and Locks ended up coming a little bit closer to the two of them, as well as dragging Joel Heinrich through at the same time. So you got another pack of 4 that's ended up created there from a little bit of close racing.
Yep, well that is for sure. Slipstreaming is the word you're looking for, mate. So absolutely fantastic. It works with all makes and models, not just with the NASCARs and things like that. The HQs, you really, really have to use it. You've got to be calm, consistent, just like your go-kart. If you tweak that wheel a bit too much, all of a sudden you start losing a bit of speed. So this is really about being smooth.
And like we said in qualifying, they were mentioning that there was a good few tenths of a second in a good slipstream if you're at the right place at the right time with a competitor that could help you out down the straight. So there's a little bit of mind use and being aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just saw the Howlett car there. I wonder if he's coming through the field at all at the moment. We've got Heinrich there up the inside there now. There's our race leader at the moment, doing extremely well, way out in front, as you can see there. There's a full corner in front. That's turn 1.
So you got Jason
That's
Mole.
The concrete on the outside of turn 1.
Absolutely. You got Jason Mole doing a fantastic job out the front. You got Otis Corwell doing again off the front row. You got Madden. We've got Camilleri. Then we're sort of coming back to Locke. And last time we checked, it was Heinrich there too. So coming up the back straight.
Now we've had a lead change. I don't know whether you noticed that or not. Caldwell has made a mistake, and now the Command Digital, there you go, you can see it, is in front of him, going up the back chute. 2 laps to go.
Madden's really giving him a push on it too. So yeah, absolutely going for the lead.
Yeah, this will be quite interesting as they go over the top down the Danny corner. Cordwell's out wide. Madden's trying to go up the inside, and of course Command Digital there. Jason Mole is at the front at the moment, but this will be quite interesting to see what happens in the next sort of, 2 laps.
And look, they're, like you said, closing down on the numbers of laps remaining. They're actually catching up to a lap driver here, so you'll see the headlights starting to come on, so they make sure that they've got fair warning coming ahead, but at the same time they're battling for it. They're not giving an inch at coming down the main straight there.
Yeah, it certainly is. The car they're about to lap has certainly come to grief with the wall or a car. You can see the left-hand side headlight all smashed in. So lap 9, as we can see, going in there. Madden there has got in front of Cordwell, the Viking, as he run out a bit of puff. Whoa, have a look at this. Lockie having a big lose at turn 1. He's going left, now he's going right. He'll be able to go to the takeaway store there up over the bridge in a minute.
And Joel Heinrichs ended up in the middle of that as well. So Joel's dropped back a few positions at the same time that Locke was looking really competitive as well. So how quickly it can change.
Yeah, well, the little king doesn't always have it his own way, Heinrich, does he?
Look, he's a very competitive driver. I'm sure he doesn't like not being up the front where he's accustomed to, but at the same time, there's a lot going on. I think they're coming up to a lap driver here, and that's going to cause an interesting final laps.
It certainly is. You can see Command Digital has certainly used him as a roadblock, as a chicane, you could say, and it's definitely got past him quite easily now. Cordwell's got past him. It's all getting really, really tight. And of course, Dave Camilleri is not giving up either. He's right, as you can see there, on the bumper bar, Command Digital.
Very much on the bumper bar with the Command Digital Jason Mole's car. So going into the last lap, you've got Jason Mole leading Otis Cordwell. A little bit further back because of that incident, you've got Camilleri there. Following him, yes. I'm not too sure how far we go back there because we've lost a couple of those guys with Locke and Heinrich in the previous lap.
Yeah, well, Madden is still there. I'm pretty sure that Madden is still there and he's okay, the Harvey towing car. But this is quite interesting. As you can see, going through turn 3, turn 4, they come around this corner, up to the right-handed kink, and then up the back chute, where you can see the horsepower of the HQ really be strong, hard and firm up the back.
Look, and it's a big long straight, isn't it? When you're starting to sort of look at how long these guys are full noise for, it's pretty hard on the equipment at the same time too.
It certainly is. That is a long, steep straight, and you're really got to make sure you've got cam timing and a few things like that spot on, because you can make and also lose very, very quickly. Yeah,
look, sounds like HQ Racing in general. The way that the category is, the competition and the tightness that we've got, it's brilliant to see.
Yep, it certainly is. As now we're starting to finish off, we've got the Command Digital car there, a 32 car. We've got Cordwell in front of him. So they've had a ding-dong battle for the last lap. I'm just trying to see who that car is in front. Has that been another lap car?
Yeah, it's a lap car, so that means that Otis ends up winning that one over Jason Mole there. So fantastic effort.
Oh, very tight. Very tight, mate. First and second. Unbelievable.
Okay, Dave, we've got the race results out of that. We've ended up with Otis Cordwell starting on the front row there, and he was lucky enough to stay there for the finish. Not got it his own way all the way through, but in the end he ended up bringing it over the line over Jason Mole and Brendan Madden. How did you think the race went there? You've got Jason coming up six spots and Brendan coming up 7, so well done to both of them for the podium.
Yeah, they certainly did. Like Otis got away from him, and then they clawed their way back to him. He went back to second, almost back to third, and slowly got his way through. There's a few little incidents there and everything. Dave Smith, the number 11 car, up 13 positions, up into 11th from 24. So he had a really good run that we didn't really see in the background. Aston Parker up 15. So just keep an eye on it. Scott Andreski, he won't be happy. He went back 3. But yeah, everyone had a pretty good run, and even Simon Thomas, like, mate, 5th. He'd be absolutely blown away with that. Absolutely fantastic. It's good to see. So everyone's having a go. It was good. It was close. And yeah, bring on race 3. This will be quite interesting to see who's got what at the end and who reckons they can go faster and who, if any, will make a mistake.
Yeah, look, we'll end up with these finishing positions rolling on to the next heat. So we'll get back onto that shortly. So race 2, Holdens Cornwall, Jason Mole, Brandon Madden. Well done, everyone. Let's have a look at race 3 coming up. First round of the HQXtra Command Digital E-Series. Again, we've got Sandown here, and this is our hands-on first aid round 1 championship. So on the front row there, we finished up the previous race with Holdens Cornwall and Jason Mole, and that's the way they've started this race.
Fantastic. As you can see, starting to go through 1. Everyone got a good start, which is absolutely fantastic to see. That's Kenny Wright car there out to the right. And also, that's Andrew Legality. There we can see right there in front of our screen. Oh, Smith. South Australian guys had a bit of a lose. There's Brett Osborne there, you can see on the left, as they all start to go through turns 2, 3 and 4 and start to go up the back chute. Thomas has got a real good run there, the Rainbow car, as they shoot going up the hill. David Camilleri, Jason Mole has got a ripper of a start. You can see him right there, all by himself, as they go up over the top, starting to go left, down into Dandy Corner.
Yeah, look, it's all happening coming up to the first lap, like you said, down to Dandenong Corner and over the top of the hill. The mid-pack is absolutely busy with all the guys pushing for room, and again, it's door-to-door like HQ Racing normally is.
It certainly is there. We've got Cranbrook right beside him. We've also got the Harvey car there, the number 4 car. So, doing fantastic. That's Scott Andreski. He's had a fairly up and down weekend round here at Sandown. But the sky is blue, the clouds are out, and there's no rain. So, it's all looking good.
And we've got some replays here of Dandenong Corner or lap 1. Again, it's very, very busy and hard with a sim in a virtual sort of circumstance with cold tyres and a tight pack.
It certainly is. Just had a bit of a look there. Was that Hollywood or was that Healy there that was coming back onto the track?
No, look, I think it was Hollywood, and I think he might have ended up getting tangled with someone else as well, sadly. Looks like turn...
Looks like Brett Osborne. Sorry,
turn
mate,
1.
is that Brett Osborne there on the left-hand side?
It is Brett
Osborne.
Osborne.
The wrong way. Yeah, it is Brett Osborne.
Ended up looping it, exiting that turn 1 there.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's had a fairly bad weekend, you could say. The simulator is not to his standards at the moment, but I'm sure they'll fix that problem.
Look, I'm sure he will too. And again, credit to him being involved and having a go. Some of us are a little bit more natural at it, and a lot of them in the top sort of 5 or 10 have spent many hours before this series even came about. So there's some semi-pro drivers there, and credit to them as well.
They certainly are. That's Jason Mole there just behind the Thomas car there of 76. In front of him is Joel Heinrich. So everyone's having a pretty good run at the moment. Good to see there's lots of different type of rims out there as well, mate. If you have a close look up at the rims, there's about 5 different types of rims on these HQ Holdens.
Absolutely.
Which is good to see.
Look, again, with the amount of effort that Jason Mole's put into it, there are Pro Stars, there are hot wires, there are all different types that give it serious legitimacy. So well done again to the creators of it, and fantastic to be able to sort of see. So we've got a big incident up the back of the straight there that looks like Baxter.
Brett Osborne and Pedro, mate.
Yeah, is it Brett or was it Baxter?
Yeah, it's Brett.
Yeah, right.
It's Brett, the 86 car.
Oh, not great at all.
Yeah, I think both of those cars will be off to be repaired and fixed. Chris Mole there on the left-hand side of Lockie. Lockie has certainly been getting a fair bit of air time, you can say. So he knows where to put the car. He's a cameraman.
Look, his real life car is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour, and very, very well presented. So again, on the virtual side of things, it's brilliant. I'm just looking at this mid-pack. There's absolutely neck and neck. There's Kenny Wright, still door to door as he has been almost all weekend with Leighton Cranbrook. You've got Otis Caldwell sort of in the middle there. We've got a few of the
Scott Andreski.
Yeah, Scott Andreski. Through the middle of the pack there. And it looks...
Oh, is that Hollywood?
No, it wasn't actually. That was Brendan Healy there. And there's a few of the other cars tied up in that as well.
Yeah, that's good. Scotty Madden there as well.
Yeah.
57 car just going sideways with him. A duet, you could say. So come onto the front straight there, you can see that's Jason Mole got a really, really good clear. Good gap. See him up over the top there. Well, we've got another one's lost it. Is that Brett Osborne off to the left? Geez, a bit of a replay there, you can see. A couple of cars cutting the grass, you could literally say.
It's almost like there might have been...
Kenny Wright's got an airborne.
Yeah, there might have been something on the circuit there that's ended up catching all of them out. There's more than didn't make the corner that did.
No, that's for sure. I've never seen the HQ get the front wheels off the ground coming out of Dandy Corner, but Kenny Wright's thing, Eddie head stud development, certainly got a bit of grunt coming out of that car.
Kenny's been practicing a lot in his spare time and putting a lot of effort into it, and he's been a big supporter with it, as well as all of the, as I said, I would say the top 10 guys in most of the races have been taking this very seriously in a degree, but at the same point, the racing's been absolutely brilliant. So the HQ guys as a category have been able to put an amazing group of people together to make these things happen. So, and it's showing. The racing's amazing. The cars look fantastic. It's door to door as a legitimate race in a HQ would be.
Yeah, well, just having a look there at a few snaps and everything else like that, that isn't a drop tank in the HQ Holdens, ladies and gentlemen. That's a very low view of the HQ, and that's where the fuel tanks sit underneath there. 71, 73 litres maximum, and still in the original position. So absolutely fantastic for the HQ Holdens to try and keep everything as close as when Holden first made them, with the adjustments from cams to making a safe race car.
And look, again, what we were talking about before was the way that the Sim Series is being built, the legitimacy of how the creations are based off with the characteristics of them. I can tell you, having driven them, they're not easy, but they do float and boat and bounce, and just as challenging as a real car sort of does react. So fantastic to see. And again, I'm looking at this battle here. You've got Kenny Wright, you've got Otis Caldwell, and in between them you've got Leighton Cranbrook, you've got JD behind him, and then a few of the other guys sort of starting to have their own battles in the mid-pack there too.
Halfway through the final race, race 3 for round 1 here at Sandown. So for the E-Series of HQ Holdens, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you're enjoying it. It's something very different. I'm sitting here watching it for the first time ever and enjoying it. I just can't believe how good these cars look. I'll go on about it for the rest of the night. This is just brilliant. It's good to see, and I'm excited for guys that have spent $200-300 on getting their race sims up and going for the HQs to do this while we're waiting for the real stuff to start again, hopefully the end of June.
And that's the best bit about it. It's almost a reflection upon the category. We're here, we're racers, we do things with a budget, but at the same time, we're in it for the right reasons. And there are tens of thousands of dollars that can be spent on a sim. There are plenty more platforms around that are iRacing level of technology, but they don't have HQ Holdens. So we've ended up intentionally finding this particular platform that had the HQs, that had what we wanted, and it shows. They are brilliant, they look fantastic, and again, a few $100s has been able to sort of get these guys on the track and racing the way that they are.
Leighton Cranbrook has had a bit of a lose there. You can visibly see that. He's off to the inside of the track there, just behind the Dick Smith board, you could say.
I think he's
Polyurethane board. So Thomas doing extremely well also still. And is that the 013 car? I'm just trying to work out who the 013 car is. Can you help us with that?
Well, I might get back to you on that one, unfortunately. There's
I
a lot
thought
of...
I'd throw that into the works for you, mate.
Oh, look, to be honest, I've watched the cars being created and we're up to over 40 cars that have been made just for this series, with every decal and every design, and like you mentioned, the different wheels from car to car, let alone every piece of signage. Every car's got HQXtra on the fronts of them and Command digital signage on the rear of the windscreens, but the rest of them are legitimate copies of the race cars, and they look absolutely stunning. I'm constantly blown away by it. And this battle that we've got here, we've got the front pack getting a little bit stretched out in the mid-range of the top 5 to 10. We've got Leighton Cranbrook there, we've got DC Camilleri there, and then we're sort of following it through with Andreski in the middle of it. So he's actually having a really good race, this one. I think he's caught up a few.
Scott Andreski's going extremely well. Yeah, he's in the middle of that. So that'll be quite interesting to see what happens. Chookman's car, David Camilleri, that'll be quite interesting to see what he can do for the last 3 laps. But he's had a really, really good run. So absolutely fantastic and good on him. So just goes to show you, mate, any shape, any size, HQ Holdens, it's affordable excitement, and that's what it's all about. It's for families, it's for everyone to get together and have a good time racing. If someone has an issue, we'll go and fix it, because we prefer to beat them on the track than them sitting on the sideline. And it's absolutely brilliant, eh?
Absolutely. And it looks like it's pretty close going up the top of the hill there between Camilleri and Andreski. Looks like might have ended up having a bit of a tangle there.
Yeah, it looks like it. Camilleri's definitely come out in front. The Harvey towing car is definitely behind, but give him another half a lap, mate, he'll catch up again, because yeah, you still have to be smooth. Yes, they are E-Series HQs, but if you're not smooth or you're not doing the race sim right, you go backwards. The times have shown that in qualifying and in the racing, that you make a mistake, you take a bit of a breather, you have a bit of a lose or a miss, your lap time goes down, you get past.
And you can quite easily lose the rear in these. They do float about, and if you're a little bit too aggressive on the wheel exiting a corner and they're not gripped up, they will actually push through a little bit and turn around before you can even catch it. So it's not just as easy as maybe some aerodynamic classes are that are in other sims. So they do a great job. We've got a tightening battle up the front here. We've got a Command Digital car up the front. We've got Jason Mole and he's leading Michael Howlett. They're looking like they're having a fantastic battle for the lead. Lap 9, so we've got, again, probably a lap and a half to go. So roughly about 5 kilometres, 4 kilometres to go. And I wonder what Michael Howlett can do about this. He's having a good run, I think, up the main straight, up the back straight.
Yeah, they certainly are. The first and second is definitely pulled away. This is going up the back chute now, so this will be quite interesting. Howlett's right on the boot lead of the Command Digital car. Watch him pull out and go down the inside. This will be quite interesting. That's what happens in real life. Let's see what happens here. We just have to wait and see. Has he got a big set of brakes or no? He stays in behind him as he goes starting to head down into Dandy Corner.
And what you've got to be very mindful of in the sim situation, because there are delays between different computers and in different states. Michael's actually driving from Western Australia. Jason's actually driving from up in Queensland. And we're actually driving competitors from Tasmania. You've got Otis Cornwall, New South Wales guys, South Australian guys, Tasmanian guys, and Victorian guys as well. So there's slight delays, and you've got to be mindful of that. You can be in someone's boot going up the straight, but you normally got to throttle off a little bit just before the corner if you're the following car. Otherwise, you'll take the both of you through the front of the next corner and maybe not make it out the other side.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good to know, mate, because I'm the boy in the bubble, you might as well say, when it comes to computers and things like that. So what you guys have been able to do is, it's a lot better than me and a crayon. I can tell you that for a fact.
Oh, look, we just want to try and enjoy the time that we've got. Racing will commence soon, not soon enough, but at the same time, we've either been working on race cars, maybe getting a chance to do some things that you wouldn't have the opportunity to do. But I know full well that these guys that are racing this series, and a lot of the guys from HQXtra have spent an immense amount of time to make these things possible, as well as the normal sponsors that are involved in HQXtra. Have been fantastic. So credit to everyone in the category for making it happen. Jason Mole, he looks like he's having a deserved meeting. Hopefully this ends up being a close battle over the line. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure. We're on the final lap now, and there's not much to go. That's Andrew the Gallity there, the car that may be lapped. We've got 3 corners to go before we get to start-finish line. Howlett right on the boot there of Command Digital car. This will be quite interesting. But it looks like Andrew the Gallity won't be an issue or problem as they go down the front to the start-finish line. And Jason Mole wins, and Howlett comes second.
Okay, Dave, we get to have a look at the results here. So, final positions for the final race of the first round at Sandown Raceway for the hands-on first aid Sandown race meeting. We've been able to have Jason Mole take out the first trophy race for the HQXtra E-Series, brought to us by, ironically, Command Digital Signage. So fantastic for Jason Mole to do that. Great racing. He's had a good meeting. Michael Howlett there has ended up coming home in second place. Again, solid meeting. Joel Heinrich, fantastic effort. He's actually come up 5 positions in that final to be able to come in at third place there. So the big surprise there with that sort of few in the top 10. We've got Kenny Wright. Ken came up 12 positions. Scotty Andreski came up 9 positions. Dave Camilleri, and coming up for Jason Dwyer, Simon Thomas, and Leighton Cranbrook. Still got up a couple, but not quite as high as he was earlier in the time.
No, that's exactly right. He come off the inside of the track going into Dandy Corner there on lap 3 or 4, which put him back. But quite interesting, third and fourth, Kenny Wright and Heinrich. There wasn't much between them at all, but they were a fair way back. The class of that race was definitely Mole, and also Howard. Simon Thomas done extremely good. Rounding out the top 10 was Dave Smith. So he also done all right. The Tasmanian guy, Otis Codwell, Matthew Reid, Brendan Healy. He was in everything in most of the picture shots, I can tell you. That's for sure. Chris Mole, he'll be a little bit disappointed, but I know that he will be back at the next round 2, certainly wanting to beat at least his brother, or if not, getting closer to the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, look, Chris had a couple of incidents there from 2 of those races. I think he might have got caught up in some of those battles, but again, you're right, a very competitive driver there. Nicholas Jackson did well, so again, fairly new on the sim sort of side of things. Nathan Locke had an up and down meeting, but sadly dropped a few positions in that final, so got caught up there. Johnny Baxter ended up coming up a few positions. He came up into 17th. Ash Parker, Wayne Hollywood, Healy. We got Pedro Marusic. Ricardo came through in the Priceless Images vehicle there. You got Rob McDougall, Andrew Laungelli, Darren Jenkins came up 5 positions there. Mark Ainscoe, Brendan Madden, Brett Osborne, and Clinton Green didn't end up finishing, unfortunately. So he was obviously caught in a bit of a battle as well. So overall, what's your feelings having now experienced a race meeting of the HQXtra E-Series presented by Command Digital Signage? How do you go thinking about digesting what you've just seen?
Well, mate, it's something very, very different, but I know that all these race car drivers can tuck it away and put it back in their bedroom again tonight now, because they're finished. They don't have to repair. They don't have to fix. That's the reality of what we're doing at the moment, I suppose, that you could say, you know, they haven't left their lounge room or their bedroom to go racing. Their missus will love them. It's something different. It's something we've got to go for. And there's E-Series racing taking over everything at the moment. But I can tell you one thing, mate, the HQ Holden guys are passionate. You just got to have a look at the, you know, the way these cars have come up, the racetrack, everything like that. So round 2 will be absolutely fantastic. And let's wait and see. I'm sure there's a lot of guys with bruised egos out there that'll definitely come forward at the next round.
Yeah, look, the way the series is shaping up, they'll have an opportunity to be racing in just 7 days' time from this particular event. So the following week, they're actually racing at Adelaide for the street race with the Ready Strip super sprint that we've got coming up. So again, a street race, if nothing else, may even be a little bit more challenging and battering at the same time too. So we're all looking forward to that. That's round 2. Thanks for your time, Dave. It's been a pleasure getting your insights on it, how it's all gone, and we're really looking forward to the next round. And HQXtra, thanks you for your effort. And again, Command Digital Signage, being able to put this whole E-Series together. We've got a lot of thanks from a lot of people in the category. So you're one of them. We appreciate that and looking forward to the next round.